And welcome back to The Watchman, only right here on TBN. Well, terrorism takes many forms. It's not just guns and bombs. It also includes, these days, cyber-terrorism. We recently traveled to Israel to get an up-close look from the Israel Defense Forces at how they are fighting back against this growing cyber-terrorism threat. And folks, it was an eye-opener. Take a look.
The technology is now a major concept, a major lead in the battlefield. And in the last years, we're trying to keep changing the technology and keep adapting it in the battlefield.
To keep pace.
To keep pace, exactly.
Welcome to a simulation city, or a sim city for short. Now, this is a replica of a real city, and what the Israeli Defense Forces does is it trains its soldiers on how to defend against these various cyber threats that are popping up every day, and they use this model sim city to do it. Now, this is literally a classroom that I'm standing in right now, and we will have an instructor from the IDF playing the role of hacker, of cyber hacker, and you'll have students at all of these desks around me in this classroom, and what they'll do is try to defend against these cyber attacks. And look at the rich target environment we have, folks. We have right here, this is a model of stock exchange, financial centers. You know that the likes of Iran, North Korea, rogue regimes around the world who have very strong cyber warfare and hacking capabilities would love to hack into financial centers and destroy the economies of countries in the West, countries like Israel as well. You have here a very scary scenario. You have a nuclear reactor. Now, God forbid a hacker could get into a nuclear reactor, cause horrific damage, obviously. You have a replica here in this sim city of a neighborhood, just an average neighborhood, and hackers can touch not only the big targets, folks, like financial centers, like a nuclear reactor, which are obviously the main targets, but you can literally shut down life in a neighborhood, hack into a neighborhood, shut down the electricity, hack into people's computers throughout a neighborhood. Very scary scenario, and that's really gives you an image, a picture of how this can affect our daily lives. You have another neighborhood here that the IDF is practicing on defending in this sim city. You have a train here, and folks, talk about a nightmare scenario. A cyber hacker can hack into the controls of a train.
My concerns is the cyber threat. As we are adding more and more technologies, we have to first figure out how to protect them, how to make them as less vulnerable as possible, and not to allow our enemies some gates or doors inside our network.
We have a satellite tower. Also, obviously, nightmare scenarios, cell phone coverage. We're all very reliant today on our iPhones, our cell phones. Hack into a cell phone tower. You have here a military base. Also, a lot of nasty possibilities there for the bad guys. Here we have a model of a power plant. Think back, folks, to Chernobyl, obviously, to 3 Mile Island, that disaster in the United States. If you can hack into these power plants, you can cause a real disaster in any Western city. We have here, again, an airplane runway. Hack into the satellite tower at an airport, affect that, cause a plane to go off the runway. So a lot of nasty scenarios today in the world, and a lot of rogue regimes. And by the way, terrorist organizations like ISIS, like Al-Qaeda have robust cyber warfare programs and cyber hacking programs. So the Israel Defense Forces is really trying to stay one step ahead of its enemies. And this looks pretty basic, the Sim City, but it is invaluable for training the soldiers of the IDF against these cyber threats. And I can assure you, every day there's a fleet of students in here. They're in front of their computers, young guys and girls in front of their computers, using this Sim City to great effect, with the ultimate goal of one day taking what they learn here, starting small here on this replica, and applying these in real life on the battlefield and against real threats and in real time